With Dussehra and Diwali around the corner, it's time to get into the festive spirit, and nothing says celebration like homemade sweets. Even though I'm in London, I can never miss out on these festivals. These are two of my favorites. So, over the next few weeks, I will be sharing simple yet delicious festive recipes on my channel. Stay tuned. This is an Indian traditional sweet. It combines rose, coconut, and a very nice fragrance of cardamom powder. The beauty of this recipe is in its simplicity. With a handful of staple ingredients, you can create this beautiful dessert. Now, before we dive into the cooking, let's look at the ingredients we need for our lovely coconut and rose barfi. Desiccated coconut, coconut flour, coconut milk, some caster sugar or any sugar that is available to you, coconut oil, cardamom powder for flavoring, vanilla extract, and rose water, and some food coloring. Take a heavy bottom pan for this one and heat it up on medium flame and add the coconut oil to this and let it heat up. You just want to warm up the coconut oil. Once the coconut oil has warmed up, add the desiccated coconut and continue to toast it until it leaves a nice nutty aroma. The coconut oil will give you a nice shine and also reinforce the coconut flavor, and the desiccated coconut will give you a nice texture in this barfi. Coconut has toasted lightly. You don't want any color on it, it just needs to slightly roast. Now let's add our coconut flour, and you can also replace it with fresh grated coconut. In that case, then you have to adjust the quantities. So instead of taking, let's say, about 25% less than what is required for this recipe. Our coconut flour is also nicely toasted now. Don't rush this process because you don't want to burn or you don't want any more color on this one, right? Now it's ready. Let's go in with our coconut milk. Now the coconut milk will give a very nice creamy texture to the barfi, and continue to stir. Lower your flame and continue to cook it. Add in the sugar as well. The sugar will melt and it will start looking like a paste-like consistency in a while. Just continue to cook it till it all comes together. You can see it has taken me a good 8 to 10 minutes to get this mixture done. It's not quite there. Now let's add our aromatics. So I'm putting in some cardamom powder and some vanilla extract. Now these will give us a nice fragrant warm undertone to the entire recipe. Alright, just mix that in nicely. And lastly, let's add rose water. Now here today I'm using rose water. If you have, you can also replace rose water with rose syrup. Then you might not need to add any coloring as well because rose syrup has a nice hue to it. Now mix it all in nicely so that it combines well. And how do you know that the mixture is done, right? Now what you do is just grab a little bit of the mixture and then try to make a ball out of it, and if it comes together, which means you are done, right? Yeah, so there you go. It's nicely holding the shape as well. That's when you know that the mixture is ready. Now let's move on to the next process. what I'm gonna do is divide the batter and then add food coloring to the half. So let's take the half of the mixture into a bowl. Now let's add the food coloring. Now adjust the color according to the vibrant hue that you want. So our color is mixed in now. Make sure there are no streaks, and then the color is evenly mixed if you're using. So now that the barfi mixture is ready, it's time to set it. I'm using a frame which I've greased with some coconut oil. You can use any flat tray or a casserole dish as well to set it. And then here I've taken a baking tray lined with a parchment paper and the frame. Right, now let's get the mixture inside. Add the mixture. It looks like a dough almost, like, can you see? So we're going to do one layer of the white barfi mixture and we're going to top it with the pink one, so there is a nice bit of a contrast to our barfi, and the color will also tell the guest what is the flavor. Make sure you press the mixture nice and tight so that it's easy for you to cut into squares or any desired shape that you want later, but press it down so that it sets. I'm doing this in a frame because I want it to be done faster, but if you're inclined towards it, you can use the same mixture and make it into the traditional version of the laddu as well. One more idea that you could do is, if you're doing a laddu, you can actually use gulkand as a filling inside. Actually, that's a brilliant idea that I just got. I wish I had some rose jam or gulkand at hand. What I would have done is actually applied a nice thin layer on top of this layering and then top it with the rose colored barfi mixture. Anyway, but that's for another day. Look at it now. You can see that the barfi mixture is nice and even. All right, now let's top it up with our rose colored mixture as well, and we repeat the same process of evenly spreading out within the frame. Spread it out evenly. So this is the first of the 15 recipes that I'm going to be sharing as part of this festive series. Keep an eye, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and also remember to click the bell icon so that you don't miss any of the new recipes that I put up. And I promise you, I have a very balanced array of recipes that are coming, sweet and savory. All right, so stay tuned. So our barfi mixture is now set in the mold. Now we leave it at room temperature to set properly before we actually slice into it. It will take about 1 to 2 hours at room temperature, but if you're in a hurry, you can always speed up the process in the refrigerator. All right, so let's leave it in the refrigerator because I want to show this to you guys very soon. Our coconut rose barfi has set now. Let's demold and slice into it. Now to demold, just run a small knife around the edges. And once it is demolded, with the help of a nice sharp knife, slice it. I'm doing a 3x3 today. You can choose whatever size you would like, whatever shape you would like, in fact. Our barfi squares are set and sliced. Let's finish them off with some nice dried rose petals and silver leaf. If you want, you can also add nibbed pistachios or slivered pistachios to add a bit of a color, contrast color to the rose. Now, if you have liked this recipe, or if you have any of your own ideas for the festive season, do share it with me and leave a comment. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you have enjoyed this recipe. I would love to hear from you all. So our barfis are absolutely ready now. Let's plate them up. Wasn't that easy, guys? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Happy cooking and have a wonderful festive season.